Hello my crafty friends, this is Mary. I'm so glad you could come by today. I have been playing with this Artiste cartridge, and thank you to Melanie Brown from Courtney Lane Designs for sending this to me. Melanie, I am having the best time with this cartridge, and one of the things I love on here is all the cute little boxes that you can make, and little gift bags and little purses and things. It's just so cute. And that's what I've done today. I was just playing around with it, and I wanted to come up with a little box to use for my grandkids for Halloween, because usually I'll do just some kind of little not gift bag, but candy bag, and I just make a fold over top for it. But I wanted to do something a little more substantial and a little cuter. So I got the cartridge out, and I'll show you what I used the Cardz TV More Spooky Sayings for in just a minute. Let's see. I cut the box on page 37. This has got so many cute boxes. Okay, I wanted to do this one right here. And here it is down here on 3D Object. And it says the largest size you can cut this is 4 inches. And I'll show you on my Cricut mat. This was a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And it took about 3/4 of it to cut it at 4 inches. So that is indeed as big as you could cut it. It was so simple to put together, especially when I got out the assembly book and the assembly for this little box. And I really didn't need it, but I was glad I had it because I wasn't sure if I needed to put any adhesive on it anywhere. And this assembly book even shows you where to put your glue or whatever you're going to be using for that. So I flipped over to page 37, and that's where they show you how to put this box together. Once you've cut it out, it shows you where to score it, but the Cricut cuts the score lines. There it is right there. And here are 2 more that are similar to it, and I'm going to try these as well. But you can see it shows you step by step where to score, which direction to fold your score lines. Super, super simple. Shows you how to put the ends together. It takes no glue and no adhesive. And then it shows you how to close the top. I had this little box cut out and made in less than 5 minutes. And I bet you're wanting to see this little box, aren't you? I keep talking about it, but I haven't shown it to you. Okay, this is the one on page 37, and I cut it at 4 inches, and I was just playing around. I'm not done embellishing it or anything, and I'm going to show it to you like this. Isn't this the cutest box? And I'm not talking about what I've done to it. I'm just talking about the box itself. I just love this. It's approximately 4 inches by 2 inches tall, so I can get a lot of treats in here for the grandkids. And I think they're just going to love this. And they'll have this when they're eating all the candy, and they can put little Matchbox cars and stuff like that in here. But it was very simple to put together. It just opens like this. And you put your treat inside. You can see how roomy it is in there for candy or small toys. And then it just closes right back up again. Now I used some pretty lightweight cardstock, and I wanted it to be a little bit more substantial. So to decorate it, I thought I could go one of 2 ways. I could cut just a band to go all the way around it, but it's more than 12 inches all the way around it, and I was going to have to piece it anyway. So I just cut some cardstock panels and then some pattern paper panels. And you can see how I've just put those together. I cut the black cardstock for the bottom panel at, let me think, 2 inches by 4 inches. Then the pattern paper is 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. For the ends, I cut the black at 1 3/4 inches by 2, and then the pattern paper is 1.5 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And I just took some Memento tuxedo black ink and inked around the paper so it wouldn't have that white edge. I took some of the baker's twine that I always get from my good friend Teresa at the Royal Castle Shop on her blog, thescrapbookingqueen.com, and just wrapped that around there, tied it in a little knot, and then tied another knot on this side. And I've got these skeleton heads put on with some foam tape. That's 2 thicknesses, and I'll show you where I found those and also the little tag. Let's see, the skeleton is on page 76. Super simple little box to put together, and it was so much fun, and I can't wait to make another one. I've got some more ideas for how I'm going to embellish it, but this was so quick, and I think the kids are really going to love it. Okay, I have just about worn this book out looking at it already, and I've only had this cartridge, maybe a week, but I'm really enjoying it. Here's the skeleton head right here. Now, I used real dial size to cut these right here on the end, and I cut these on real dial size at 1.5 inches, and they're popped up, one on either end, on 2 thicknesses of foam tape. Now, I put 3 on either side of the top because it looked bare and it needed that. These were also cut at real dial size, and I cut these at 3/4 of an inch. Now, the little tag, I just love that little tag. I've stamped it with the More Spooky Sayings Boo right there, but lots of these would have fit on there. There's Yikes, Wicked, Hiss, Chilling, Hocus Pocus, Got Candy. You know, you could just adjust the size of your little tag. And I've just cut one out of white at 1.25 inches, and then a black one at 1.5 inches. And that tag is on page 33. Let me flip back over. It's one of my favorite tags in here. I love the shape of it. Here it is, right down here. I cut the white one at 1.25 inches and the black one at 1.5 inches. Right there. And just layered those together, stamped my sentiment, and I tied it on with some more of that black and white striped baker's twine. I love how this turned out. I'm probably going to put a few more things on here. This is going to be for one of my grandsons, and I want to do a really special one for my little granddaughter, and I'm going to use one of the other boxes. There's one that's a little bit taller, and it closes a little differently, but I'm going to show you that one too. This is a fun cartridge, guys. If you like putting together 3-dimensional things, this has got tons in there, and so many cards and matching envelopes. I haven't even started on those yet, but this was lots of fun. Thank you so much for coming by today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you again really soon. Bye now.